The big difference is if you're a zone township, you have a comprehensive plan. You have a plan that says this is how we want our town to be, our land to be used. This is areas that we want developed, what area we want to see residential, agriculture. You basically parcel off your community saying this is what's going to happen here and this is how we're going to control it. When you're an unzoned community, basically you don't have an ordinance. So mine can come in and basically what High Crush did is they came in knowing that we were unzoned, knowing that we did not have an ordinance in place, so they don't even have to deal with us. They went straight to the county, filed a reclamation plan, which is hundreds of pages long, 300 or 400 pages long. They get the county to sign off. It's basically a rubber stamp process. The county will tell you flat out your face, they are not in the business of stopping their mines. They are in the business of making sure that they comply with all the regulation of the county. They do their best to help them comply. And then they rubber stamp them through. So High Crush came in, they got all the permits. There's a ton of permits and a ton of paperwork they have to go through. They got all the permits, everything in place. Then they came to the town of Bridge Creek Town Board and they said, we've got a plan to operate and you can't stop us, so we're going to go ahead and mine, but we're going to come to you as neighbors in good faith and we are going to negotiate a mining agreement with you. Even though we don't have to, we want to be good neighbors. Behind the scenes, what transpired was, if you want us to sign any kind of a mining agreement, this is what it's going to look like. And they handed the one that their attorney drafted to the town board and said, either you sign it or we walk and we just go and operate without you. So that's what happened. And so the town board figured they have nothing to stand on. They might as well have some kind of agreement, it's better than nothing. So they said, okay, you can go ahead and mine. And that's what happened down here. They got in. We got on committees, and so an unzoned township really can protect itself in some ways. But if you're familiar with the Zwiefelhofer versus the town of Cooks Valley State Supreme Court decision, that was up in the town of Cooks Valley where some farmers, 4 farmers, I think, got together and they filed a complaint against the town saying your ordinance basically is a zoning ordinance and we're not zoned, you can't do that. Well, the local courts upheld what the farmers were saying, and it was appealed and it went to, eventually got to the state Supreme Court. The state Supreme Court said no, they reversed the decision. They said the town has the right to regulate, bottom line. Homeland rule sort of thing. That was the big undoing. They said the town has the right to regulate, whether it's zoned or unzoned. So that opened the doors for towns that all of a sudden start developing all kinds of ordinances, because we were starting to get wind of what was happening with the mines, that they were less than truthful, and there's a lot of bad things starting to happen, a lot of complaints that people were raising. So the town started writing ordinances like crazy. Okay, our town had an ordinance, and part of the committee that Christina and I looked at the ordinance, and we put together some suggestions, and they took a few of them and they added to the ordinance and changed it. Later on, I was appointed to a committee by the town board, a mining and land conservation committee, and we were asked to go look at it again. And we went to the county and talked about zoning. We wanted to find out about zoning. The town board said, we don't want to be zoned. If we become zoned, the Amish are going to leave. We're not even going to look at it. So we spent meetings after meetings with the county, getting all the information in place, presenting to the town board. The town board said, well, we don't really want it. We're not interested in it. So we're not interested in zoning. So